Yo. My fault, man. I'm a little late this morning, but welcome in. Today is March the 7th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the Casted with Chris NBA betting show. So we're gonna get right into it since I'm already running a couple minutes late this morning. Like I said, my apologies. Let's go to so if you're new, hit the like button, subscribe to the show. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. I do these shows every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern time, as well as a live NBA show where I bring the gambling community together as well, the NBA gambling community together as well at 5:30 Eastern time for myself and other, sharp handicappers to share their opinions and advice as well. If you guys wouldn't mind, hitting the like button for me as you guys join, it'd be greatly appreciated. Retweeting the link on Twitter and downloading the podcast and leaving a 5-star review, that would also be greatly appreciated. But enough of that. Let's get into it. First, we got to talk about yesterday. Real quick recap. Brogdon went over his 15 and a half points. Easy bet there. Shout out to everyone who laddered him and took him at 20. He got to 24 before the end of regulation and then didn't score in overtime, even though he was the freshest guy. So pretty interesting. I think plus 25 plus points last night for Brogdon was plus 850 on a few books. So he fell a point short, but definitely made some units there. And then Indiana plus the 7. I talked about that. Halliburton hit a big three late last night to cash that, but I like the Pacers plus the 7 there. And then Denver first quarter minus the 2. They came out and laid an egg. Toronto came out and played. They bullied them early. Denver wasn't playing a lot of defense. Their offense also was just kind of out of sync, out of rhythm. They probably should have lost that game last night for anybody who watched. So that first quarter did not cash, but Brogdon and the Pacers did cash for us. So 2-on-1 day yesterday. I didn't have any official plays when I did the show yesterday morning. I talked about the injury implications. Also talked about the Kings and how to, if anybody played that, the Pelicans do not, they just don't have enough offense in my estimation. I watched them get punished in the second half yesterday because their defense was so horrendous. So that's where we were at yesterday. Like I said, don't want to take too long on the recap. Let's jump into the games for today. So it's a lot of games. It's a lot to like today. I'm not going to be able to jump into all of them. As I was making the banners this morning, I was like, man, it's like 6 games that I made a banner for. And typically I'll try to keep the show in the morning to about 3 different games. So first game, I'm gonna just go through this real quick for you guys. And we'll jump to another game as well. So first game up I want to talk about is the Milwaukee and Orlando game. So let me just get the odds pulled up real quickly. So this line opened at 7 in favor of Milwaukee on the road. This is their let's see. Let me get to my notes. For Milwaukee, this is their third game and fourth nights. The Magic. You looking at the spot for these teams. Orlando struggles to score against teams that have as much length and athleticism. These two teams have played already a couple times this year, and the Magic are one. The Bucks are one of the teams that really make this Milwaukee. The Bucks are one of the teams that the Magic actually struggle with, because we always talk about the Orlando Magic towering over other teams. They can't do that with Milwaukee. Everybody looks like they're going to play on the Milwaukee side, besides Drew Holiday, who is listed as questionable in this one. So I'm not telling you guys to jump on it early, but the data kind of tells me that the under is going to be in play here. It opened at 232.5. It's still at 232.5. So I don't think a lot of people are looking at this total at all. Total, it has come down from 7 and the game has come down from 7.5 down to 7. But a couple things that I looked at. So I talked about the Bucks being on the third game in 4 nights, but also you look at this Bucks team. They're 9-3 to the under as road favorites in conference games with an average of about 226 points in those games. I also looked at the Magic when they're home dogs in conference games. That's typically when they play their best brand of defense. They're 9-4 to the under as well, average of about 221 points. So you see this total being at 233. I know that the total did go over in the last meeting, but if I'm playing this game, I'm looking towards the under 232.5. But I couldn't talk anybody off waiting, to make sure we get official injury news and all those different things before locking this bet in. So that's what I wanted to say about the first game. Let's move on. So Washington and Detroit, we don't have a total yet. It looks like we do have a total of 229. Man, that's an interesting total. I feel like the total should go under. We only have one total. It's on Bet Online. What I have in my notes is the under for the Wizards game. I don't even have that game on the a banner for that game, but and it's probably because of the injury implications. I know that Detroit is playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. Of course, they lost last night to Portland. This will also be a third game in 4 nights for them as well. But on the Washington side, they do have Kuzma listed as questionable, and Monte Morris listed as questionable. He could come back and make his return, which they haven't had him for a while. So I would check bogey status. I would also, check Kuzma and Monte. This will probably be one of the games that we get a total for, probably the latest, for all the books. We only have it for one book right now. You look at Washington. They are 20th in offensive rating post All-Star game, and they're 29th in pace. They're playing an extremely slow brand of basketball, not scoring a lot of points, not getting the most possessions. And you look at Detroit on the opposite side, they're 50th in defensive rating post All-Star break, and they're 30th in offense post All-Star break. So this team is playing some pretty good defense, even though they've been struggling to win games. I think a big part of it is having Marvin Bagley, Wiseman down there to kind of clog up the paint, and their guards just play extremely hard. They're not winning games, but they're keeping themselves in games with their defense is one of the reasons why they haven't been getting blown out if you take away the game against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Saturday. So that's what I got for you guys there. Moving along, I did want to touch on the Lakers game. So the Memphis Grizzlies will be they're not traveling because they was already in LA. They're coming off the loss where they gave up they got outscored, by a lot in the fourth quarter. In that game on Sunday against the Clippers to give the Clippers their first win. So injury implications in this game as well. D'Lo is upgraded to questionable for the Lakers. Dylan Brooks will also be back for a 1-game suspension, but of course Memphis will be without Ja Morant. They'll also be without Brandon Clark, who suffered an Achilles injury that's going to end the rest of his season. You look at Memphis, man, and I think this is just it's another desperation spot for the Lakers, needing to win, pretty much every single game to keep their playoff contention alive. The Lakers have won back-to-back games as home favorites against conference opponents post All-Star game as well. They really picked it up on the defensive end. You look at this Memphis team; they're just 4-6 straight up and 3-7 against the spread without Ja this season. But I looked a little deeper. In 5 road games without Ja, including the one, against the Clippers the other day on Sunday, the Grizzlies are 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread, losing by an average of 23 points. Memphis is also 0-11 straight up and 2-9 against the spread as road dogs, including 0-6 straight up and 2-4 against the spread in conference games as road dogs. So this is the spot where you want to fade. You typically want to fade the Memphis Grizzlies in this spot, man. I talked about the desperation for the Lakers. They need this game more. Not to say that Memphis is going to come in here and roll over, because I don't think that's going to happen, but the Lakers do need this game. The Lakers won the game earlier with LeBron at home. That was the famous Shannon Sharp game. Then they went to Memphis and they lost, gave up a lot of points in that third quarter. Of course, Memphis was a different team, and of course the Lakers were a different team at that time as well, but they were more they played well until the third quarter explosion for the Memphis Grizzlies. One thing we know about Memphis is their offense does not play as well on the road. They can struggle to score. So if the Lakers can defend the 3-point line and limit shots from Tyus Jones and Luke Kennard, then I feel like the Lakers should have a chance in this one, man. The Lakers should absolutely have a chance in this one. I'm looking for a big game from AD. And if I'm playing a game, I'm playing the under. I think the total in this one opened at 226.5. There's some 227s out there. I would definitely get the best number. But the Lakers have gone under pretty much in every single game post All-Star break. If you take away the game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which was on the second leg of a back-to-back. And Memphis, I expect them to play hard in this game as well. The Lakers have not been doing it with their offense. So I think it's a reason why the total opened so low. And if I'm playing the game, I'm laying it 2 with the Lakers. And I'm also taking the total to go under. Definitely get the best number. I see some 226s out, 226.5 out there, and 227s. Definitely make sure you get the best of numbers. But I do expect this game to be slow paced, and I expect the Lakers to win. So that's how I'm looking at the Lakers game today. No fanboy stuff. Y'all know I don't even bet on the Lakers, and I haven't bet on the Lakers, but I do think it's pretty telling that the Memphis Grizzlies are in this spot, and the Lakers, in a desperation spot, needing to win these games. Timberwolves won their most recent game. And they got a big game today against the 76ers, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but I'll talk about that game later. Next game I want to talk about really quickly is, let's get to I had a couple more I want to talk about. So let's go to Charlotte and New York. So it looks like the total is 228. Let me update the banner real quick. Total, because I got it and I don't know what it is. It looks like it's 228, 227 and a half out there as well, 228 and a half. So the books don't really know where to set the total in this one. So for the New York Knicks, they are coming off a double overtime win against the Boston Celtics at at the other garden, not their garden, but in Boston, on Sunday night. That double overtime game probably did take a lot out of them. But shout out to Emmanuel quickly. These guys are absolutely on a roll right now. Julius Randle, Josh Hart, all these guys are stepping up and playing their role. Now you get them against a Charlotte team, man. Charlotte has not been great this year. Brunson is listed as questionable in this game. And the total, so the spread opened at 9.5 in favor of the Knicks. It's up to 10 on some books. I anticipate that the total keeps going. I do anticipate the total continues to shoot up. When it becomes available. Right now, it looks like it's only available at DraftKings and at Better Online. If I'm playing this game, I'm laying the points with the Knicks, man. I know that they're coming off a double overtime game, but one thing I looked at was first of all, if Brunson gets ruled in, this line is definitely going to move up. It probably probably close at about 11.5. So just want to make sure I mention that. The Hornets have played 3 games so far without LaMelo Ball. Have played 3 games since LaMelo Ball's injury. They're losing the first quarter by 8. They're losing the first half by 20. Losing the full game by 14. So I don't have a problem laying the points. I talked about this one. I think it was at the beginning of last week. The Knicks were playing against the Nets, and they were at Madison Square Garden in that game, and I laid the 7.5, and it was a trifecta spot. I probably should have played all 3. I don't have all the numbers in front of me, but I know that the Knicks are top 5 in every offensive and not every, but an offensive rating, defensive rating, post All-Star game, and net rating too, of course. And this Charlotte team just won't have enough offense in this game, in my estimation. So if I'm playing this game, I'm looking at taking the Knicks first quarter, first half, and full game. But specifically, for them to come out with something early, punch Charlotte in the mouth. They beat Charlotte in the last game, and this was before they got as good as they are now. And they beat them pretty bad in that spot as well. So only way I'm looking to play that one is the Knicks. I'm not fading the Knicks right now. And I'm okay with laying the double digits as well. I think that this game, is probably a 15-point win for the New York Knicks. Like I said, if you like it, go ahead and jump on it before Brunson gets in. And then the last game I want to talk about, I know I'm going pretty rapid fire, but you guys can, go back and listen if you want to. Just for all the details. But the last game I want to talk about just real quickly is the Utah Jazz and the Dallas Mavericks. So it looks like the total in this one is 226. So let me update this banner really quickly because I didn't have a total last night. Total is 226. 226. Low total for a Dallas game. And I'll tell you the reason why I feel like it's a low total in this game. The Jazz have been really, really poor offensively post All-Star game. I talked about it the other day. I faded them the other day. Of course, that was without Lauri Markkanen in the game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They will get Markkanen back, and Clarkson probably should be finding some kind of offensive groove as well. But you look at the Jazz. They're just 2-3 straight up, 1-4 against the spread post All-Star break. With 2 of those wins coming against the Thunder and the Spurs. And that was the Thunder without SGA. No, Thunder with SGA in the first game back. In a game that they should have lost, and that game was actually at home. The win came at home as well. They have not played well after those 2 wins. They're only averaging 110 points post All-Star game. Offense is really taking a deep dive, and specifically in the first quarter and the first half. They're averaging 100. The Mavs on the other side are averaging 126 points per game post All-Star break. Versus the Jazz, like I said, only scoring 110. So 16-point difference between offenses post All-Star game. right? One thing we know about the Mavs is they can fill it up. They can light it up with anybody. We saw what they did to the Phoenix Suns defense, which is a top 10 defense, in the NBA. So specific spot for tomorrow. I'm sorry, for today, because I've capped the games last night. Specific spot for the day that I like the most is probably Mavs first quarter, first half. Like I talked about it. If you guys follow me on Twitter, then I gave out the Oklahoma City Thunder on Sunday, first quarter, first half. And that was with Lauri Markkanen out. And like I said, Lauri Markkanen will be back for this game. But the Mavs, that's typically when they start the game, the hottest. So real quick analysis, and then I'm going to get out of here. For Dallas, this is the 6th straight home game. That's when you want to take a team. They're also, coming off a loss. This is also, in my estimation, this is also a tanking team versus a team that's building for playoff season, right? The team that's kind of battling for playoff season. I think the Mavs trying to get, not trying to fall down in the standings. I feel like Utah's kind of packed it in. Off the really tough loss, that is the Dallas Mavericks as well, Sunday against the Phoenix Suns. Should be a motivational spot. Luka typically plays the entire first quarter for everybody who watched the Dallas game. And then, just statistically, the Mavs are winning the first quarter by average of 3 points post All-Star game. The Jazz are losing the first quarter by average of 6 post All-Star game. The Jazz are 0-5 ATS in their last 5 road games in the first quarter. And you look at this Dallas team, they have a 123 first quarter offensive rating post All-Star break, which ranks 5th. The Jazz have a 99.2 first quarter rating, which ranks 27th. So that's one of the reasons why I like the Mavs in the first quarter. Also think they get it done first half, because every stat and trend I just kind of gave you guys for the first quarter for the Utah Jazz also is applicable for the first half as well. So I like the Mavs in the first quarter. I like the Mavs in the first half. Right now, we don't have. When I fell asleep last night, it's one of the bets I was trying to actually put in, because, like I said, the spread is already moving. In that favor, it's up to 7. I think that they win the game. I think it's probably a trifecta spot by the Dallas Mavericks in this spot, but we don't have any first quarter lines right now. I'm guessing it'll probably be 2, maybe 2.5. If so, I'm laying that, but we don't have those numbers yet, which makes it kind of difficult. To do these shows. But I feel like the total should probably go up just a tad bit. Utah has been playing a little bit better defense, but that's how I'm looking at the game. So top looks on the board for me. Just to recap, let's see. What I absolutely like the most is the Dallas first quarter spread that I just kind of talked about, and we don't have a number right now. I also like Dallas first half spread. I also like the Lakers minus the 2. And I also like the Knicks. We don't have a first quarter spread. And the Knicks first half. We don't have a spread. So you do these shows, the books sleep in, and that's how it kind of goes. So I'll put all those at the bottom for people who join late. All I ask is that you guys hit the like button for me, show some support if you guys appreciate the work that I'm doing and been cashing, recently with us as well. So all the plays that I just kind of talked about with the analysis that I gave out earlier. Also, what's not mentioned here are the leans towards the Washington Wizards and Detroit team to go under the total. I will wait, just to kind of see who's ruled in and who's out, because there are some injury implications on both sides in this one with Bogdanovich, Kyle Kuzma, and Monte Morris. And then I also didn't. What's not listed is the other lean is the Bucks and the Magic under 232.5 as well. Talked about that one, with Drew Holiday being involved in that one as well. So based on the information, based on the research, this is what I'm liking the most. Also, I didn't talk about the Nets in the Rockets game, but the Rockets are coming off a game versus Spurs where they scored 142 points. The Rockets have scored 130 points or more 4 times this season. They're 0-4 straight up, 1-3 against the spread following those games, only averaging about 109 points. If we're looking at the X's and O's, you put Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith on KPJ and Jalen Green, and I feel like you cut off the head of the snake. Wilson Goon probably have a pretty good game. He should be able to, but the Nets did sign Nerlens Noel. Not sure when he's going to make his appearance with the team, but that should help out as far as being able to slow down Sengun on the offensive end. I think the Nets are the right side in that game as well, but I didn't play it. I do think I know Brooklyn's going on the road, but they should be able to win that game. And get whatever it is that they want on the offensive end, because we know Houston has one of the worst 3-point defenses in the league, and Brooklyn loves shooting the 3-point ball. So those are the top looks for the day, man. Let's get to some cash today. Like I said, the lines that I like are at the bottom. Hit the like button for me if you can. Share the show some support. Download the podcast and leave a 5-star review as well. Best of luck to you guys today and on all your action. I'm gonna try to go through the comments, but I'm gonna do that offline because I got to get ready to get up out of here, man. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with me as always, and best of luck to you guys today. I'll be back at 5:30 Eastern time as always for the Crispy Cap and NBA show. I'm out.